better do that. Okay, we're recording. We were just sharing where we're at for the month, so that's okay. Anybody else? Sonali, I think she chatted in. Kate, can you see it by chance?
Yeah, I'm working an online show currently. I have 3 more shows on the books. Sonali, are those in person or online? I still want 4 more shows, and I'm sitting at 0 PQB. That's what she said.
Okay. I'll share where I'm at. I have a lot of work to do, and so if you guys are feeling like you are behind, you're not alone. Leaders struggle with this too. I feel like that's kind of something that people think like, oh, they've got it, they have connections, they have contacts, and we do, but it still takes the work. So I feel behind, but I know that we still have a lot of time left. So looking at my calendar, we have 3 full weeks of March to book. I could book in tight for, early next week. I could book until the end of March. So really, there's plenty of time to do it. I just need to do the doing. So I have my list. I have what I'm going to do. I just need to do it. I have 1 in-home show on the books for this Friday, and I have 1 online show, and that is it. And I try to hold myself to the standard of having at least 4 shows a month. I prefer in-home. So to my own standards, I'm definitely behind, but it's not going to mean I'm not going to do it. So I just have to do the work to get there. So if I'm just sharing where I'm at 388 PQB. So you guys, if you're at 0, Sonali, no big deal. You have a whole month ahead of you. So if that gives you any comfort to know that, we struggle with those same things, it's going to be okay. I'm not going to let that define my month. So that's where I'm at, but I plan to have at least 4 on the books, especially because I would love to be entered into that new Dallas incentive. I'm not sure if you guys heard about that today, but we are doing a pop-up. There's like this new pop-up boutique for Stella Dot in Dallas, Texas, and anybody who has 4 qualified shows for the month of March gets entered to be drawn as, I think they're picking 4, am I wrong? 4? Picking 4 stylists to go fly down to oh, sorry, not Dallas. Is it Dallas? Oh shoot.
I think it's Dallas.
To fly down and be part of that boutique, and that would be amazing. You could be a Danielle, and you could do Manny Petty's and all this fun stuff. So I for sure want to shoot for 4. I am a super incentive-driven person. That's not the only reason why, but I think that would be so fun. So just kind of adding a little bit of, fuel to the fire, maybe get you guys to keep booking. I think that would be amazing if one of us got to go. So that's just one more little added benefit for having 4 shows qualified for the month. And they have to be, but just PSA, they have to be qualified by March 31st. I noticed that in the little fine print. So just make sure that if you have a show on the 31st, it needs to be qualified by that evening to count as a qualified show. So just a heads up. Kate, where are you at?
Yeah, I can share too, because my month is, it's okay. I had a event, like a vendor event on Saturday. Setup started at 6:30 a.m. It was awesome. But I would say it was good. I had about, 350 in sales. I didn't book any shows though. But anyways, I'm qualified. And so my month is, let's see, I have 4 shows booked. In addition to that vendor event. But what I would say that I think I can share that might be helpful to some of you is that my Tuesday show, my next show tomorrow night, kind of tried to cancel yesterday as I was in the grocery store at Trader Joe's. And I'll share with you guys if it's helpful what I said. Because is anybody else getting that same spot? Okay, where is okay, there it is. So for me, my shows in March, I have at least 4 booked. I might have another one. I'm not really thinking. I might have a 5th. But most of my shows this month are repeat hostesses. So that is fine and that is good. But I feel like you really have to go into repeat hostess shows with kind of a different mindset maybe than you would a brand new hostess. So really working with her to encourage her to, invite a bunch of different groups. And often, a repeat hostess is going to have different people show than the last time. So that's great for me as well to book with new people and acquire new customers. But in kind of my rankings of shows, I always want to have shows with new hostesses. So I only have one new hostess this month. So that's going to be my goal this week, is to be really, really reaching out to a list of brand new hostesses, because I don't find my repeat hostess shows are as quality or as great in value as new hostesses are. Okay, so yesterday she just said, just letting you know, it will not be a good turnout on Tuesday. Lots of other conflicting events for people. Sorry. If you would rather not do it, that is fine. Let me know what you want to do. Because I think a lot of people worry, right? That they are like, you know, you hear them say like, I want this to be a good show for you. I don't want to waste your time, which we don't. And I think something that I hear a lot of people say is like, well, at least I got one order, or at least I met one new person. And I think that's kind of selling ourselves short, right? We want to be really like helping your hostess get some people there. But small shows are very valuable. So I said, hey, hi, a few orders have already come in. And then I said that, you know, a few orders have already come in already, because she's got the link and she's using it. She's doing a great job. So I did like the raise the hand emoji. And I said, how many do you think? I like them all sizes. But I wanted to kind of find out, like, are we talking one person? Are we talking 5? I said, there's a hostess bonus this month too, so I'm happy to come. Think we'll have like 4 to 6 ? And I just wanted to get talking about who was coming and the maybes. So she kind of told me who was coming. So I just said, awesome. The people that sound like they're coming sounds great. And then I just gave her some words to say to her maybes. And then I'm going to send her an image today as well for a reminder. So we're doing it. And we have 5 yeses. So that's good. But, so my month is like, it's okay, but it's not like incredibly solid.
Better than mine. I'll take your month, Kate. Just kidding. I just need to do some work. But I love that you just like hostess coached her into like being re-excited about the show. Because you could tell she went into that text to you like really nervous, like, oh, like, am I going to waste your time? But you came back and like really made it a positive, like, oh yeah, we're gonna, and then here's something you can do to help increase your attendance. So yeah. I love that.
Something too that I think Haley that said this. You know, she was saying with her pop-up person, I think, if I understood her correctly, how she wanted the person that did the pop-up, she was saying like she wanted to try and book something with that person to add more orders. So, you know, something that I've been doing with this gal that kind of sounded like she wanted to cancel on Tuesday. She's a really great customer, but she loves, like, she's style club. She loves free stuff. You know, she's very motivated. I think being really transparent with your hostesses is super smart to do as well. I think sometimes we shy away from numbers because we think maybe like, oh, if we talk numbers, like if I say like I want a certain number of people there, then she maybe isn't going to do it. But I think often they think like they don't really know. So for me, like if I'm going to have 5 people there, we're doing the show. I mean, so I think what you could do is Haley might be able to say like, where is the show at? Like if she had some orders, you know, like Sarah encouraged me when I was like, oh, this gal's trying to cancel, you know, she's like, well, you only need, 4 orders and this much for it to qualify, but also for that Keeley bracelet, you know, like just letting her know. So if she has 5 people coming and she only needs 4 orders and she already has some in there anyways, like we should do this. So I think just sharing with your hostess what it takes to get the rewards, they'll get pretty excited about that, especially if you're willing to partner and help them with that. So I don't know.
Totally. It's like after the fact when you have a show and they're like this close to the next level, you know, encouraging them and showing them where they're at. So it's like same, but on the backside. So yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Sarah, do you want to share or I don't know if you're too loud or where you're at.
And Amy's on.
I'll unmute myself. Am I too loud for you guys? I'm literally inside the car wash right now.
No,
if it's too loud, let me know. I'll mute myself again.
No, you're fine.
So I am, what? Okay, I am sorry. Kids in tow. They're pouring the cement at our new house. So I'm trying to kill time because I want to go over and have the kids put their handprints in. And it's like nap time. So if I go home, they'll like go to bed, but I need them to stay up for like another hour. Anyway, sorry. So I'm sitting at right now, I think like 400 in sales. So I'm kind of set up the same as you, Steph. I didn't have a lot on my plate. I'm running an online right now that's basically just getting started. So I don't have much there. And then that's it. I don't have anything else the rest of the month. So I'm in the same boat where I need to be reaching out and booking. And I finally sat down today, and I don't have anything on my plate because I haven't been reaching out. It's not for like, I've been doing a ton of reach outs, and that's why like I don't have shows on my books because I haven't been reaching out for shows. So I agree. I love that we still have 3 full weeks left in the month. And so I'm definitely going to be, I started today, and then over the next few days, I'm basically not going to stop until I probably need like a good 8 shows. The great thing, because I run my business online, is I can stack a bunch of them up. Like I can do a bunch of those at the end of this week if I can get a bunch of people to get in by the end of the week, or do like a bunch of those next week. And so that's kind of the benefit of that. So I'm just, I gotta do my reach outs, get some shows. And it's the weather's finally starting to get nice. So I feel like people are finally starting to like get excited to do things. Even if it's an online show, they're finally excited. I'm gonna mute myself. It's getting loud, sorry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I mean, we're kind of all in different areas. I think what we talked about, Kate and I and Amelia were talking before this about why this month is so great. I mean, one, we have this new capsule collection that's moving in. We have the backpack that's supposed to be released, I believe, next week, which, by the way, I guess is supposed to probably sell out really quickly. So just kind of an FYI if you guys didn't hear about that. The blush camo backpack is coming next week. But the Keeley bracelets, I think the Keeley bracelets, you have 8 of them to give away to our hostesses this month. And what a great incentive for us to like give an extra something to our hostesses. So I think we were talking about, how we're going to reach out with that. And I came across, I'm assuming you guys are all on the S&D Crushing It page. But Jacinta, our new, what is she, like our new stylist training or something like that, director, she made a post about, hey, something big is coming tomorrow. It was the whole Dallas thing that got released today. And she gave some really good of her own exact words to say with an image with the Keeley bracelet, kind of like a March hostess bonus Keeley bracelet image. And she was talking about how easy it is to do reach outs for customers that have recently ordered through you. And this is my favorite way to book a show, if I'm being totally honest. I love reaching out, checking out how they're doing with their order, making sure they love it, and then turning that into a show. And that's exactly what she did here. So I'm going to read you guys. I pulled it up on the page here. So here's her text, and here's what she said. She said, if you've even done one show in your career with Stella & Dot, then you have customers who purchase product that you can follow up with. Here's my approach, and here's either a phone call or a text. So here's her text. It says, hey, Julie, this is Jacinta with Stella & Dot. It was so nice getting to meet you at Amy's Styling. Thank you so much for attending and shopping with me. I really appreciate the support to my small business. I wanted to check in and make sure you received your pieces okay. And then she's like, they're going to respond. And once they respond, you say, yay, like, how are you liking everything? I'd love your feedback. And they respond with like, have you ever had anybody really say like, no, I hate it all? Like, I've never had that. So it's always, typically something really positive. And so her response here, this is the booking portion. It says, awesome, so happy to hear. Please save me in your phone in case you need anything. I'm offering this gorgeous Keeley bracelet as my gift when you get a few girlfriends together to see the new jewelry line from March. Amy got $200 in free credit from her session. I'd love to do the same for you. I'd love to set aside a Keeley bracelet for you as I only have a limited amount. Would a weeknight or weekend work best for you? And then she attached that, like the image of the Keeley bracelet, someone looking at it from down. And then it says March hostess bonus on it. So I love those like really easy words to say of, thanking them for their order, shopping small with me. And then you don't just put the plug in your first text, you wait for a response and you have kind of a conversation and then you offer the show. So you started using those words yesterday when I was reaching out, and I've booked actually 2 shows for April. So I didn't book them for March, but I now have 2 shows in April I didn't have before. And that's because I did exactly what she suggested and it worked. they're not going to get the Keeley bracelet, but that's not a big deal to them. Because March was busy. But so that's kind of, I think those are great words to say. If you guys want me to send that in an email, if you guys aren't part of that page, or it kind of took me a minute to find it. So if you'd rather me just like copy and paste it into the email like Kate sent you guys for the reminder, I could just reply all to that and send it out if you guys want to see that. But I thought it was really helpful.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things everywhere.
Yeah, Facebook's busy. So yeah, I'll email it to you guys. It would just take me 2 seconds to do that. So yeah, I will send that your way.
This is, I was just chatting with a couple gals on my team who are going for some goals, and they were really wanting to, because it's St. Patrick's Day this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are people doing for St. Patrick's Day? Nothing.
Yeah.
So she threw it out there. She was talking to a gal who had ordered. This is Kaylee. But she said, oh yeah, she said, I'm not sure about you, but we don't do much for St. Patty's weekend. Could be fun to get some green to get some green cupcakes and have our own Luck of the Stylish on the 16th or the 17th. What do you think? And the gal booked the 17th. So I think just throwing that out there, I don't think people are actually, it's like one of those holidays where they're not really up to much. So get a few gals together. I think that'd be a fun weekend to get some friends together.
I love that. That's great.
Green mimosas. I mean, you could do all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, that was super fun. I love that idea. Awesome. Anything else you guys are doing that's working for you that you've, as far as booking or reaching out? I know we haven't really talked about sponsoring yet, but anything that's working for you guys that you want to share? Nope.
I'm in the same boat as Kara. I didn't really do any work last week. I kind of like floated through. So for me, it's just a matter of sitting down and reaching out. The good news is that I think this time of year, right, you're more likely, if you reach out to 10, you're going to get a yes. Mm-hmm. And I'm right there with you. Like if I'm getting a yes in April or even in May, like for me, I'm always kind of like trying to, book a few shows in really early in April, a few shows in really early in May. So kind of as you're transitioning to being a leader, that's kind of something that you want to be keeping in your mind is, having some shows at the end of the month, having some shows at the beginning of the month so that you can really just make sure that you're meeting your goals. So I think it's important but yeah, hopefully we're getting to that point in the year where it's easier to book.
I think we are. I'm with you guys. I was in Disneyland for like 8 days. So I completely unplugged, which is the beauty of the business, right? You can kind of take that step back. But when you come back, I'm like, oh man, I got a lot of work to do. But I'm in the same boat. I just haven't done it. So now's the time to do it.
I was going to say too, Steph, like just to piggyback Kate, to piggyback off of what you were saying about Kaylee. For a lot of the girls on here that maybe are like newer stylists or, they're really trying to pump up their business, do not be afraid to offer a date that's next week. I know when I was a new stylist and people would tell me that, like offer, book in tight, book it in, 5 days out, 7 days out, 10 days out. That would like terrify me. I'm like, you can't book a show that close. Like I thought that. And then I did a few and I'm like, you're right. They actually are more successful. Like people aren't just saying that. So do not be afraid to offer dates for next week. Because people are ready to get out of their house. It's finally spring. People are starting to think about, doing other things besides like hibernating. And you can't book shows next week if you don't offer it. So throw it out there. I bet you'll get some bites. And I bet you the shows will be successful because the hostess are so excited right when you book the show. That's why shows that are booked in tight are so successful because the hostess is never as excited as right when you book the show. Mm-hmm. So you book the show, you have it within a week or two, it's most likely going to be more successful.
I also think too, I always try to prep my girls when I tell them to book in tight. I kind of prepare them and say, you may get, because some people push back and say, oh, that's way too close. But you have to kind of be prepared to come back and say, well, actually all your friends already know, they probably know their plans for this upcoming weekend anyways. So they're probably going to know now if they can make it or not. So they tend to be more successful because they are closer and more excited, like what you're saying, Kara. But I tend to have to like prep, like for me, I know I would say that back. But for some people who are newer or who aren't used to booking in this tight, It's something I kind of tell my hostess, like, your friends already know their plans for this weekend, so if they can make it, like, they'll already know if they can or can't. It's not like 3 or 4 weeks out where they have to like figure out, you know, what they're doing, put it into their schedule, that kind of a thing. So anyways, it's just something I typically try to make a plug with my hostess. Anything else, Kate? Did we want to talk about sponsoring at all? I don't know what.
Can I ask one question? I had to pop off and pop back on to get my car. I didn't want the whole school here. For my hostess for the party next weekend, she was like really reticent about booking a party because she's been sort of unsuccessful in the past. And I need to touch base with her tonight. But when I talked to her on Saturday, she was like, I'm not really hearing back from anyone. Are there any like great, I guess, like, where do you sort of, how do you get that momentum for your hostess to get those invites and that kind of thing, I guess? She's just sort of a bit Debbie Downer.
How are you inviting? How is she inviting everybody?
She has been texting everybody.
Okay. Is she just getting no responses, or is she getting no's?
I think she's getting both.
Okay.
I normally I normally start asking just a bunch of questions. And as you said, she's not getting a lot of responses. So what I would do, honestly, Haley, is I would just kind of say, I would, ask her, say, okay, like, it's kind of normal, to not really, for people not to, RSVP until like a day or two beforehand. So, no stressing. I always try to like put them at ease, because that really is kind of the case with people. And I would say what I suggest when we get to this point and we're a few days out and we want to kind of solidify who's coming, is send a note out like this and put in quotes what you want her to send to the people. So if I was in your situation, I would send something and I would say, feel free to copy and paste this message.
Which is what I had her do for the initial invite. I literally sent her, here's a, here's a cute image. Here's what you should say. Yeah.
And I think in order to kind of get people to be responding to her, is to send her a message that she'll copy and paste and send out. But it'll be something like, hey, I'm getting super excited. I'm starting to, get all the goodies together for my Stella and Dot get together on, is it Saturday or Sunday or whatever, on Saturday. Wanted to make sure you saw the invite, and I'd love for you to be able to swing by. It's super casual. So come anytime between, 12 and 2. Want to make sure I have enough. Hope you can make it, or do you think you can swing by, or something like that. But just something where she, just you giving that to her again, I think is appropriate.
Okay.
I think the reassurance too, like Kate, like I love what you said. Then the reassurance of, the guest list really does come together in the last like 24 to 48 hours. So I think reassuring your hostess of that too, so she doesn't feel like she's not doing a good enough job, is great. So I love those words are perfect.
And you can also tell her, like, there's no such, like, no friend left behind. There's no such thing as over reminding. Because I think hostesses they're not in this business with us. They don't realize, how many times have you gone to a show where like one of the hostesses, BFFs doesn't come, and then it's like she truly forgot. The hostess texts her and she didn't remember. So I think you can say, there's no such thing as like over reminding. Plenty of reminders is so helpful. And I even will just like put it on myself and be like, I need most reminders of anybody. So I think if you were to reach out to her and give her just a real quick, easy, like, this is normal. This is what we do. And some people are going to, drop out. And then some people are going to like pop in and be able to make it. And then some people will bring a friend if we encourage them to. So let's do that.
Okay.
Cool. All right, we're 30 minutes in. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Maybe Yeah, maybe Sarah can reply to the email too with those words to say with the about the meat, sell, and dot. That'd be kind of helpful if that's possible.
Do you want me to send them to Steph and then or reply to the email? Gotcha. Okay, I can do that.
Include yours. And
Okay.
the image is really cute. It's in Mimi, so we can all find it.
Yeah, I just saw that. Okay.
Cool. Who's leading that?
Danielle.
Okay, cool.
And it's Sarah Loftus is the guest. That'll be good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Amelia's on the chat.
Oh, is she? Oh.
Or maybe.
Oh, no, it's me. That's me. I was like, is she? Wait, from me. I'm like, wait, that's me.
That's funny.
I was replying for her. Yes, she had him last Tuesday, I think.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah, about a week ago.
Yeah. Nice. So he's almost a week. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording, okay?